Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Senior National Championships here between Western Australia and New Zealand in this contest. We just got in time for the first centre draw of this one. Our second match of the day. Victoria taking a comfortable win over Queensland earlier, but I'm expecting a much tighter contest here between New Zealand and Western Australia. Lachlan Williams behind the microphone again for you. Bringing you this action from Angliss Reserve here at the Footscray Lacrosse Club. If you're in the area in Melbourne, try and get down here either sometime today or tomorrow or Sunday, where things really heat up. Set for some fantastic lacrosse action to sum up this great couple of days so far. And New Zealand make the perfect start to this contest here. Anya Kais with the first goal of the game. Fantastic start from New Zealand. They suffered a loss in their first match of the championships yesterday, going down in a flurry of late goals to South Australia. Whereas Western Australia, after a blistering start, played catch-up then against Victoria, and after trailing by as much as 5, they got back level in that one, nearly pushing the Vics, but they will have to start from the back here, with New Zealand making the better start, but WA taking possession and moving forward now. Ashton Hiron in possession, gets the shot off, low bouncing shot, just misses wide, but WA have the backup, so they will take possession and have their first real set attack for the match. A reminder that we have 12-minute quarters for our women's matches today. Teams playing 2 games in the day, so just the 12-minute quarters, and great defence there from New Zealand to force the turnover, but WA's won it right back. Bit of a dogfight in the middle for that ground ball, but Western Australia coming away with it. Hooper looked inside there, but pass unable to be completed, and New Zealand will take the ball up the field through Ella Freeman. Just carries and kicks down the line. Perry looks across and finds Archer, who looks inside to Bertram, but WA will come away with it. Olivia Antolov in the cage for Western Australia. Sally Rutherford in between the sticks for New Zealand. Both players really stepping up on our streams yesterday. There's a great clear there from Bailey Eastman. Gets the shot off, bouncing past Rutherford. A handy finish there from Bailey Eastman. To get New Zealand on the board. To get Western Australia on the board, rather, in this contest against New Zealand. As I said, really looking forward to this one to see who comes out on top. I think it's going to be fairly even. If I had to pick one, I'd probably favour the West Australians, but expecting quite an even contest, and hopefully one that goes down to the wire. Well, one there in the middle from Shannon Mitchell, just pushed out of bounds, but illegally, says our official, so she'll bring it back in and take it and go. Up to Kate Hooper, drives, feeds inside to Ashton Hiron, and nice finish in that bottom right-hand corner. Just a nice little roll, finds that space on her right hand and puts it in that opposite corner. Really difficult spot to get down to and defend for the keeper. Hooper and over end in the middle for the draw this time. It'll go the way of New Zealand from the middle, so they'll get a chance to try and level things up with possession here. Over end. Misses the pass, but well backed up from Archer. Down to Butler. Up and across to Webb. Now Archer. Should clarify, we've got two Archers out there. In the 35, Megan Archer, 75, Ollie Archer. Over end on the restart, kicks down behind the cage. Shawn out to Megan Archer. Does she like her chances here? Drives hard, but good defence there from Western Australia. Out to over end. Just that fan well protected by the West Australians at the moment. The interception coming from Ames. Found the ground ball too and just heaved it up the line. Well found for Keenan. Now kicks it to Erin Mitchell and she's away. Can she get the free hands for the shot? Not quite. Well defended by New Zealand and they're off to the races now. Megan Archer up the line. Ollie Archer down to Shum. Is there anything coming from the top? Can she hit the cutter? Just kicks it again. Butler. Archer. Webb. Solid defense there from McGee. Forces her out. Archer again. Goes down on the left, but we've got a moving screen there, so WA will take the ball. And Tegan Brown, who had quite the game on our streamed match yesterday, really took it up to the Victorians. And just carries behind to set things up again for WA. The double team comes though. There's good heat there from New Zealand, but just a little over ambitious, and Tegan Brown makes them pay this time. Burning around that right hand corner. Finds the back of the net. No, we are coming back, so that goal's going to be disallowed. So she did a good job to hit the back of the net there, Tegan Brown, but it won't count. This time that will, though. McGee finding space on the crease. Just found that hole in the middle that New Zealand had left wide open and said, thank you very much, I'll take that, and finish accordingly. So that will be 3-1 now. As Falconer and Hooper make their way into the middle for this centre draw. Comes out the way of Western Australia. Pass not fantastic, so New Zealand will clean up and bring it down their end. Perry, she's got space down there, but decides to just settle as Western Australia collapse. Well, she's driven hard on that right corner, puts it away in the bottom right side. things just opened up for Perry there, and she capitalised on the opportunity. Thought Western Australia had done well enough to get home and force her to take it behind, but didn't quite collapse as far as perhaps they thought they should. And Perry's just taken that opportunity with both hands. Hooper and Fortis going head-to-head there, but it's the West Australians that come away with it through Keenan down the line. Keenan just dictating play from X down to Hooper, driving hard. Big save there from Rutherford, getting that stick and foot right to the ball. Great goalkeeping. This is probably a little where we saw New Zealand struggle yesterday on the clearing. It's a little indecisive with their ball movement, and it probably cost them at times. The patience is fine, but it's when you go, you have to be certain that you're going to be able to clear the ball, and they should do this time through Fortis. Moves it on, and Barker. We've got a cut coming from the top. Neal was wide open there. Not rewarded. Still open in the crease, but has to take it through now. Perry now does get it to Neal. Archer out to Falconer. And just settling things a little bit, New Zealand. They trail by 1. Feed inside. Shum gets the shot off, but goes wide. So the wind's really picking up here. Now Tent getting a nice bit of shake from the wind. The players should be able to go on without much impact. The clock is out on the field. So there would be about 10 seconds left. They'll have to pull the trigger soon, New Zealand. Archer, and I think that will be that. The clock will beat them, and that is the end of the first quarter here. Certainly an interesting one. 3-2 lead, Western Australia over New Zealand. I think we're set for quite the interesting contest. At the same time as this game on the far field, we have Queensland taking on Victoria in the men's side of things. We saw Victoria get a comfortable win over the Queenslanders in the women's earlier, but it's Victoria 5, Queensland 0 in that one. So the Vics looking comfortable there. Should go on to win that one quite easily. But we'll take a quick break and be back with you very shortly for the second quarter here between Western Australia and New Zealand. We are back for the second quarter here between Western Australia and New Zealand. Just the one goal in it at the first break. New Zealand will be looking to level things up early here. Tegan Brown and Anya Kai's in the middle for the centre draw, but it comes away from Western Australia with Horan and going to Brown straight away. It's a big shot off. Big shot on that stick side high. Great finish there from Tegan Brown. Just so much space, able to just wind up and really let one fly. And Sally Rutherford, not much of a chance there. Just always keeping active in there, Tegan Brown, just when the ball came out here on the wing, pushing forward. Her opponent didn't quite go with her and she made her pay the price. Back in the middle now, Brown. This time one for New Zealand as Bertram straight down off to Butler. Great save there from Antolov. Butler on the follow-up. Down to Perry. And a big save there from Olivia Antolov. That would have been a huge reply for New Zealand, getting one straight back, but we'll have to wait a little longer. The keeper denying that last effort. Freeman under pressure from Hiron. Freeman will take the play now and move it behind X to Perry. Butler back to Perry. Keeping that ball behind for the moment. Now getting it back top side. Kais. Moves it back down. No cutters coming at the moment, so at least nothing to be able to pass to. So just swing it back top side. Good D there from Eastman. And just when New Zealand thought they'd won it, Shum's just down behind play. Bit of contact, but she looks okay. Well, she is still down behind the play. Taking from the field, so she does look all right. Just as the ball is being cleared by New Zealand here. Nearly knocked down from the West Australians as the ball just comes over towards our commentary position. Butler kicks us back off. Got help coming from the box in Hadwin. They swing the ball behind. Perry. Nice roll onto the right hand. Gets it up top side. Archer just ran herself into a bit of trouble, so turns back out and moves the ball. Bertram. Great double team there from Ashton Hiron, but she has been called up. So Briar Bertram. Great finish there from Bertram to keep the Kiwis back within a goal. Just really took her time, picked that top corner. The pressure was coming, but knew where she wanted to put it and followed through to put New Zealand back within one. About 4 minutes through this second quarter. Brown in the middle for Western Australia once again. Up against Overend. And Western Australia come again, Ashton Hiron. All the way, Ashton Hiron. Fantastic finish there. We've seen that a few times already this week. Just so explosive and not afraid to let one fly. Ashton Hiron, not too often has she missed from those positions. Brown and Overend will go head-to-head again in the middle for the draw. Just getting set. And we're away. One again by Western Australia forward, and Hiron again. Has she got another shot in her? No, she passes this time. Just wide to Keenan, but they will keep the ball. McGee. He's got Mitchell cutting, driving hard onto that right hand. Just couldn't get the shot off. But she has been infringed. So Shannon Mitchell will have an opportunity here to extend that lead. Straight through, and a great finish there from Shannon Mitchell. On the initial dodge, just drove hard, drew the contact, draw the foul, and then on the second attempt, able to convert. So Western Australia move 6-3 ahead. Just that one of those saves from Olivia Antilov just felt like a big momentum shifter, perhaps. Would have been massive for New Zealand to put that one in the back of the net, but WA now out to a 3-goal lead, starting to assert their dominance in the middle as well. Ashton Hiron causing all sorts of problems. But it will be New Zealand that take possession from the middle now. Overend, kicks it back, now back up the line, Archer. And a good check there from, I think that might be Mitchell again. She's got just one to beat in front of her, drops a shoulder and nearly goes all the way through. But she'll take it back, a bit of a tighter angle this time. Be interesting to see if she does attack the cage or tries to kick it on. She does look sideways across to Riley McGee. And things just getting a little tough now for New Zealand, just conceding too easily in defence. Need to shore things up a little bit. Just a little bit of potential ill discipline as well, costing them at the moment, just giving Western Australia those really good positions to get the shots off. But they have looked dangerous themselves when they have had the ball. They just needed a little bit more of it. Brown again, dominant in the middle. She tries to win to herself, but tracks it down and flicks it back. Not to her team's advantage. Well won from Archer. Neal. Back down to Archer. Now Perry from behind will kick it to Butler. Does she like her chances here? Just having a look inside. Draws the second. Kicks down. Perry. Double comes. Needs to move the ball now. Butler. think they'll be happy with just a little bit of possession now, New Zealand. Make the ball do some work. Falconer. Cut from Neal. She'll just take it down. Butler. Up to Neal. Fortis from high. Back to Neal. Moves it down. Fortis. Archer doing plenty at the top, but drops the easy one. Picks it up. No damage. Players collapse for Western Australia. Great team defence there. Just keeping New Zealand out of it at the moment, but a little miscommunication there. Neal doesn't make them pay. Great cut there from Butler. All the way through. I think Western Australia just stepped over the line there. Gone offside on that loose ball, so New Zealand will maintain possession. Falconer. Ooh, just a bit sloppy on the restart. Nearly missed the pass. But back underway. Butler drives hard around that bottom crease, and huge save there from Antilov. Great piece to keep it out one-on-one once again. This scoreline could look very different had the keeper not been as on top of her game as she is right now. Butler. Hiron. Just so persistent on that defense. Butler head up, trying to see what the options are. Just kicks it back now. Perry works hard around the crease, gets around that top side and finishes accordingly. Fantastic finish there from Kaita Perry. And I think that will do us for the first half. I believe we've called an end to the second quarter. So right on the buzzer, New Zealand have hit the scoreboard. (7-4) the lead to New Zealand, to Western Australia over New Zealand. So that late goal, all important for New Zealand to keep them in it as we head into the main break. We'll take a quick break ourselves and we'll be back with you very shortly for the second half. Welcome back to the 2022 Lacrosse Australia Senior Nationals, here with our contest between Western Australia and New Zealand. I think we might just have to hold fire as one of our scorers returns to the bench. WA leading by 3 goals at the main break, but a late goal to New Zealand just makes things interesting with 2 12-minute periods to play. WA running downhill into attack. A slight downhill here at Angus Reserve. And we are away, well won there from Tegan Brown. Back to Shannon Mitchell over that Ashton Hiron. How many times have we seen this driving hard, but she's tried to attack the goal straight away. But in the process, Ella Freeman has been shown a yellow card, so she'll spend some time on the bench. And just because it wasn't hard enough for New Zealand, I'll have to do it one player down. Hooper nearly turning it over, but they will keep possession. Fires over to Tegan Brown. Big shot down on that bottom corner. Just so powerful on that drive. Hard for any keeper to get down there and keep that one out. And they make the most of that power play opportunity. The extra player. Brown again in the middle. Taking on Anya Kais. One forward for New Zealand, but they won't take possession as it's won by Erin Mitchell, but takes plenty of contact, so she will keep possession. Swings it across to Tegan Brown, who drops it down to Kate Hooper. And they will just settle and continue to make the most of this power play. Feed across to Brown. Down to Keenan. Zips one inside to Erin Mitchell. And just great team offense there from Western Australia. Just Keenan has been so dangerous from the X there. In the couple of games that we've streamed so far with Western Australia, just getting behind and feeding so many times with such precision into that crease. And a lot of Western Australia scoring opportunities coming from that direction. Looks like we're back to even standings out there. Just an update from the far field as well. Victoria lead 10-0 over Queensland in the men's contest. As the New Zealand win it forward now. Bertram, she's got a paddock in front of her. She get the shot off? She does. Quick reply there from New Zealand. Briar Bertram with that one. Straight away, wasting no time getting one back. And we're back to 4 goals, still within somewhat touching distance. Yeah, so a 10-0 lead it was at halftime in the men's match between Victoria and Queensland. The Vics looking to put in as many as possible, most likely, in order to keep that goal difference up and give them the best chance of advancing to the championship game. Obviously getting the job done against South Australia last night. It was a low-scoring affair, I think it was just the 8 goals scored, or potentially 9 goals scored. It was either 7-1 or 8-1. Yeah, WA win it from the middle with Hooper. Keenan again looks in that crease, finds another one, and Tegan Brown was wide open once again. But I think our official Leanne McGibbon just saying that Kate Hooper had found herself in the crease, so New Zealand will take the ball here and clear it. Sally Rutherford in the cage. Pressure coming from Hooper. Needs some help here. So she just has to heave it away, and in the process of that, just turns it over. Not the worst place to give it away, though. She's thrown it out of bounds upfield. Gives her team time to come back and find a player and defend. And there are still 3 yellow jerseys as Shannon Mitchell drives to the cage this time. And any time the New Zealanders put their hand up and try and edge back, WA have the reply. So back out to 10-5. Five-goal margin for the West Australians. Of course, with WA and South Australia having both lost to Victoria in the previous days, it's important for WA to keep winning. And when they face South Australia tomorrow, that match is likely to decide who will take on Victoria in the championship match on Sunday. And they've won it again, Western Australia. Feed down to that bottom crease, and McGee there on a great pass inside from Holly Plummer. Holly Plummer, just great vision to see McGee coming across that crease. Not much space in there, really tiptoed around it. But did well enough to keep out of the crease, take possession and finish. This time Fortis wins it forward, but Mitchell is there to do the cleaning up. Kicks down to Keenan. She's got players down if she wants to move it. Down to Mitchell, just dropped pass. So that'll slow things down a little bit. Kicks around. Out to Keenan. Wants to get in on the goal-scoring action herself. Dished out a couple of assists so far. Hooper. Out to Keenan. She got the shot here. No, but she looks inside once again. Plummer runs into big contact there. And I think we're going to see another card for New Zealand. Danielle Hadwin is going to take some time on the bench. So Holly Plummer's going to get a free look here at the cage. Feeds across this time to Kate Hooper, just goes low to low. Great teamwork there from the West Australians. And a tidy finish from Kate Hooper. Just dropped the stick low and kept it out of sight of Sally Rutherford and zipped it into that bottom corner. So getting tough for New Zealand now. A couple of yellow cards really costing them here. Deficit is out to 7 goals. Going to be tough to track this one down, I think, but they still have looked competitive. Ball up. Hiron comes away with that. And she tucks it and runs down the line. We've got a whistle out on the side, and I think we're going to see another yellow card for New Zealand. It's, I think it's Sienna Neal that's going to head to the bench this time. So they're 2 players short at the moment, New Zealand, just the 4v6. And it's going to be really difficult to keep this out. Keenan, that's one loose. Did New Zealand get the back up? Not quite. It just beats them, so Western Australia will retain possession. They've got to get this ball moving, Western Australia. They've got numbers everywhere, so there's one drops down for New Zealand, so they're just 1 short at the moment. Or was that an error? Is that one of the players hightailing it back across the restraining line? So there is still the 4 defenders down there for New Zealand. Now we're back to just the 1 player down, so Mitchell has got the cutter coming from Hooper, decides to kick to the top to McGee. Hiron down on the left, back up to the right, has Mitchell cutting. And just New Zealand, a little bit of ill discipline costing them here at the moment, just giving Western Australia too many looks, too many extra player opportunities. And McGee unable to beat Rutherford there. Big save. Fires out to Morecambe. Just shoots it up the line and the players have turned their back on it. So Archer is the first one to it. Draws a whistle and she'll bring it down. Kicks out to Falconer. Down to Kiki Shum. Takes it behind X. Wants to move it to Perry and does so now. They're still short-handed here, but the extra has come from the box now, so they are even numbers here. If Kiki Shum can find it, there's one at the top, but they've just been unable to see that. And Antolov stepping up big time once again. Playing a huge role, Olivia Antolov. She's going to be important in their push towards playing in the championship game and potentially pushing Victoria should they get there. Antolov now. Good clear to Keenan. And players everywhere. Hiron's found herself wide open. She's got numbers collapsing, but she's beaten them. Gets the shot off. Good save there from Rutherford. She had a player open on that crease, Ashen Hiron, but she backed herself in to get the shot off. Rutherford up to the task. Falconer just the ball evading her. She's keeping it in front, but Plummer collapsed well. And great work there from Holly Plummer on the chase to win the ball back for Western Australia. Shannon Mitchell. As the wind is picking up down here at Angliss Reserve. Hiron leaves it behind and tracks back to get it. Looks for the cutters. Nothing happening, so she'll just pull it out. Another big save there from Sally Rutherford. Really stepping up the last couple of minutes. Needs to move the ball now. It's a little slow on the clear, and I think that'll probably do us for this quarter. Fires in the middle to Kais. Has to pull the trigger. Cops a big check from behind. The clock is on the field, so there would be less than 30 seconds remaining. Down to Perry. They need to move it quickly here, New Zealand. Fortis down to Perry. Sees the cutters. Shum needs to get the shot off. And she's done so. Another last-minute goal for New Zealand. It's back-to-back quarters. They've scored right on the buzzer. So they'll trail by 6 goals going into the last quarter. 8 seconds remaining. In this quarter. So time for one more if they can get a fast break. Mitchell needs to go straight away, but it's been pulled back. So there should still be about 7 seconds left on the clock. Ball is up and out, and I think where it's fallen will probably be enough to end the third quarter where we are. Mitchell just stuffs her butt end back on, and she'll try and fire it downfield quickly, down to Hooper, but that will be the end of the third term. A dominant one for Western Australia, extending their lead. They're out to a 6-goal buffer at the final break. 12-6, they lead it. A late goal from New Zealand, just making things interesting. But they'll have to certainly lift if they're to try and have any say in the result of this game. 12-6 the lead, Western Australia. We'll take a quick break. Be back with you very shortly. Welcome back to the final quarter here between Western Australia and New Zealand. Western Australia in control of this one with a 6-goal lead with 12 minutes remaining. I'm joined by a special guest. I might let you introduce yourself, Chandel.
Chandel from Wembley Lacrosse Club. Hi to all the girls at home that are watching. I know you are.
How are you going, Chandel?
I look really great. Loving seeing what the WA girls are doing here this week.
Nah, fantastic, and plenty to be happy about so far this afternoon. And I think we've seen another card here. So is that Tegan Brown that's just been sent off?
Tegan Brown is taking the foul on that one.
Yeah. So what have you made of them so far, Chandel? What have they've been impressive this afternoon?
Yeah, WA have a really young team that they've put forward this year, which is a lot of personnel changes to previous national teams, and they've really come out firing. A lot of, I guess, unsung heroes, people that, you know, not heaps of big names, but big players in WA that are doing really great things here at Nationals.
That's fantastic, and they're probably likely to come away with a win here, although New Zealand are looking to start well here. Anya Kai's in possession. Great collapsing defence from WA, but I think the New Zealanders will keep the ball.
Yeah.
Get another chance.
I really like what New Zealand are doing with their shooting. They're very good at changing level and diversifying their shots. And let's just see what they do here. Oh, big crash.
That's probably a good example there.
Yep,
just
the old high to low.
That's it, the pipe just playing a part there. I've been impressed by Olivia Antolov in the cage as well, Chandel. She looks really active in there, and even when she hasn't had too much to do, she's always up and about, and she made a couple of big saves today.
Yeah, obviously taking over from Buzzy as our major WA goalie. She's doing a great job. Unlucky on that one just there, but she's put a lot of training in for this under-23 team that's going away, the Aussie under-23 team, and you can definitely see it in her game. The way she's playing up Wanneroo back home is super, super impressive.
Yeah, Perry just putting that one in for New Zealand to cut the margin back to 5. And I think, obviously, what we saw yesterday in the Victoria game for WA didn't quite go their way, but there's plenty to take away from it. And I guess a big game tomorrow against South Australia, but should they potentially get another crack at the Victorians, I think they'll take plenty from that match and try and learn a bit and take that into potentially a championship game should they get there on Sunday.
Yeah, he is hoping. I mean, they're playing so well. I'm so impressed with what they're doing, and seeing how they've really stepped up at this national level, just brought more of their game, and seeing how they've come together in such a short period of time it just blow my mind. Bailey with the ball, he's just come back from Jacksonville a couple of months ago. Over to Tegan Brown for a shot. Great look there.
I was saying it a bit earlier that she is just assisting for fun at the moment. She has had too much of a look at the cage herself, but it's just so often she's the one just feeding the ball inside, and really impressed me.
Yeah, that lefty feed is super dynamic. And we've got some really great, WA, sorry, have got some really awesome quick cutters off the top of the circle. So, the top of the fan. So having that great, strong lefty is a huge advantage for our attacking setup. Kate Hooper with the draw. Who's she up against in there? I can't.
I think it might be Harriet Overend for New Zealand, I think, in there.
Yep.
It's been a good battle in the middle. WA probably getting the slight edge so far in this match. But
yeah, the Mitchells are so quick off the mark. Shannon and Aaron with the ball now. Over to teammate from Subiaco, Kate Hooper. Bailey Keenan with a bit of a fumble. Back to Erin Mitchell. And Emma Green decides to take it out and set up.
It's been good composure as well, I think, from the West Australians. Just haven't been panicking, not rushing the cage with anything too silly. Just the New Zealand goalie, Sally Rutherford's played quite a good game, I think, and just hasn't conceded 13, and they've been 13 pretty good shots.
Yeah, she's fired up now after that big save.
So Kate Hooper will take the ball from behind and just sees what's up the field. I'll probably try and get the ball behind again. And there we go, another feed inside, and a great finish there from Erin Mitchell. Just that seems to be the MO to goal. get it to X and send the cutters from the top.
Yep. That, like I said, they've got so many quick attackers that just quick off the top of the fan, quick look and a great shot. They really are trying to diversify their shots as well. Looks like Ashton Hiron's coming back on the field and will be taking the centre for WA. And Holly Plummer back on as well. Shannon Mitchell's hit the bench. And Bailey Keenan back in the midfield. The problem is I'm trying to talk about the New Zealand girls too, and I don't know many of them, but they've got a really great setup, really young team. Can't wait to see what they're going to do at World Cup.
Yeah, it's one of the most exciting things about, I think, the game at the moment. It's developing so quickly in so many different parts of the world, and this New Zealand side has been more than competitive today, and they nearly came away with a win against South Australia yesterday. I think they pushed them to 2 goals.
Yeah, that was a great game. South Australia also got a few veterans in there and also a very young team too. So, you know, the future of Aussie lacrosse is looking fantastic based on the talent that's coming through in that younger age group.
Definitely. I think Ashton Hiron's been shown the yellow card as well. So
yep.
New Zealand back to a player up opportunity, but they've just
turned it over.
Thrown that one out.
And Holly Plummer with the ball. Over to Riley McGee. For those who don't know, her and Ashton Hiron are cousins. That's why they link up quite well together.
Fantastic, yeah.
And Emma Green with possession now, getting a bit of a push there, and that's called by Sue Milne, the ref. New Zealand trying to take advantage of this extra man opportunity they have to get that ball back. WA doing a great job staying composed. Oh, a bit of a fumble by Bailey Keenan. That was a big swipe there, and that's going to be a card, I think.
It's probably cost.
For Sophia Morecambe. Looks like she's hitting the bench as well, so we're back to even on the field.
Probably cost New Zealand a little bit today, I think, in terms of, I think that's probably their 4th yellow card.
Oh,
so
God, they want to be careful. Oh, and that goal is not counted. I think that was a free space call.
Just a whistle before the shot. Yeah, they've spent a fair bit of time a player down, which it's difficult to play short-handed for so long like that. So sure something they'll keep in mind to work on.
Let's see what Bailey Kim does with this one. Oh, she's been ripping quite a few back home in WA, some really great shots from the 11 and converting on those. So I get excited when I see her line up the 11 at the moment. Not so much when she's lining up against my girls, but she's doing a great job with those 11-metre shots. Tegan Brown with possession at the back of cage. Oh, a bit of a fumble by Teagues, but she's going to return possession. She's certainly a veteran of this WA team. And Teagues with a shot. No backup. Oh, no Bailey Keenan there. Thought that was going to be a goalkeeper ball, but... Riley McGee with a big cut, but Emma Green sees the back of the net. Top left side.
So it's a quick update in our men's match across the field. Victoria taking on Queensland as we've got a timeout for New Zealand.
Yeah, what's she going to say to get around her girls? Or what's the New Zealand coaching team going to say to get around their girls this late stage of the game?
I was saying in the previous match, Chandel, that when Queensland played Victoria, that sometimes when the result is, you know what the result is going to be, you can, rather than, all right, we're going to come out and win this match, you can break it down and set little targets. Maybe it's win a quarter or score a goal or win the next centre draw, win a ground ball, little things like that. Let's not concede for 5 minutes. Just setting yourself, breaking it up really small to these achievable goals so that you can come away and say, yeah, we've ticked that box. We can, we can do that, and then we can build on that. Maybe we not concede for 10 minutes. Maybe we win 50% of ground balls. It's little things like that.
Yeah, 100%. And that's one thing that I say to the girls back home is, you know, the next 5 minutes we're going to focus on this. If I see that we're lagging in something, I want us to have 3 on the ground ball or whatever that may be. And let's hope that the Queensland staff are doing that with their girls. They've got a long way to go and some great development opportunities for them. There's some really great lacrosse talent actually in Queensland. So if some of those people can get around the squad a bit more, that they can really do great things. And it's great to see them here at the Nationals as their own team this year, not
100%.
combined with New South. So, Julie Mao in the centre now.
I think you hear it so many times that if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Yep, 100%.
So they come here and they'll the results might not be going their way, but they'll play against the best this country has to offer, and they'll only improve from those opportunities as WA take the ball forward once again.
Holly Plummer with a bit of a fumble, but it's gone out of bounds. I think it was off a black stick. So, oh no, it's definitely going New Zealand's way. Oh no, and Holly's going to pump it over to Ashton Hiron. Push the ball down the field. Ash is just absolutely incredible to watch. Coming back from the US this year, leaving her media job and taking up a spot on Channel 9 in Perth. She's got a lot to offer our state and our country, so we're so glad to have her home. And a shot there by Emma Green. Got about 2 minutes left in this game now. Let's see what this last 2 minutes has got to offer. What kind of personnel New Zealand are going to go with.
Yeah, so just a quick update on the field across from us. Victoria taking on Queensland in that men's match. Victoria going at 5 goals a quarter at the moment, so they lead at 15-0 at 3/4 time. They're just into the 4th quarter now.
Yeah, the Vic guys were great last night. Awesome to watch, really strong defence.
Yeah, to concede just the 1 goal at a national championship, it's some effort. So.
And we've got another card coming up, it looks like. Time's being held. Who's going to get that one? Looks like it's Ashton Hiron off. So that might be a yellow-red.
I think so, yep. I can see a red there from Leanne McGibbon. So
Ash is out of the game, and that means that WA will play 5 minutes man down. But given we've only got a minute and a half left, it's lucky for the West Australian team and coaching staff. New Zealand with the ball at X. Up to the top there. Just getting the ball around the cage now. Surely they're going to be holding out for the last... Oh no, got a whistle. Aaron Mitchell's got a foul, but I'm not sure what for. So that leaves WA with 4 in the middle in the defensive zone. Aaron's just jogged her way back in, but WA definitely man down. Some strong D. Bailey Keenan's been called for a push. With Kiki Shum with the ball. Looks like she's going to take that shot by the way she's set up, but she passes it off. A great little dodge around the crease there, yeah.
Yeah, Keita Perry there, putting that one in the back of the cage.
Really great decision by the New Zealand girls on that one. You know, you could have wound up. It looks like I thought she was going to shoot, so and WA kind of left the shooter open. So, way to go to New Zealand to capitalise on that opportunity.
So it's a quick one for you, Chandel. We don't have too much longer left in this match, but obviously it's been some time in between drinks for national championships for Australian lacrosse. How is it for, I guess, the West Australian contingent getting over here, back over to Melbourne and competing with the black and gold on once again? How's it been for everyone involved?
Yeah, everyone's so excited to be here. I mean, obviously I'm a coach back home and I wanted to come and see the girls and see how they went. And like I said, a young dynamic team. So wanted to see what they could do, and they're definitely delivering this week. I'm so happy I made the journey across, and I know that they're bonded really well as a group. Obviously lacrosse, we've got 6 state league teams in WA, so we kind of know what each other can do and how to play together.
Yep.
A lot of family link-ups as well. Like I said, Ashton and Riley are cousins, and there's the Mitchell sisters. Got quite a few Subi girls in the team this year. So, yeah, we're like I said, everyone's so happy to be here. You know, who doesn't love a lacrosse trip, right?
Exactly. Well, we've turned the weather on for you here in Melbourne. Nice.
Yeah. You know what? It's raining back in Perth, so it's cold,
Yeah.
but at least it's not raining.
There you go.
And New Zealand, she steps inside, but a big save by Liv Antilov. And Tegan Brown out to her right. Will she use her?
There's great concentration there. I mean, there's not long left in the game. You're up by 8 goals. It could be easy just to switch off, but really stayed in the game the whole time. And
Yep. You know what really impresses me with the New Zealand's defence? Look how they've all got their sticks up. No matter where they are on the field in that transition, they've always got their sticks up. They're always looking big. They're always looking dangerous. And it's definitely intimidating. You know, I wish that we would take a bit more from that and keep, you know, look like that. I
Yep.
think it's fantastic. So whoever's coaching their defence is doing a great job. Bit of a push on that one, though, for Shannon. And that's another card,
I think it will be.
which is Taylor Barker hitting the bench. And Shannon has copped a few pushes today from what I've seen, but she's tough. Which means now we're back to even because Ash is still off for WA and Taylor off for New Zealand. Riley in the middle. Oh, bit of a check, but she finishes, but that's not, yeah, that
Just a
one's
whistle
not
quickly
counted.
before. So I think before, we've done a few women's games before today. I think I might have seen one card, and I reckon in this match we've seen
I
7
know,
or 8
it's
now.
like a game
So
of poker.
it is.
And will Riley convert? No.
Great save.
Oh, she's a good seagull though. Is she gonna? No. Erin's got that one. New Zealand still putting pressure on. They're very strong, New Zealand. They're obviously hitting the weight room and Kate Hooper with the drive across the top there to the left. Kate will line up on the 11 metre. Let's see what Kate will do with this one. Oh, not do anything with it, unfortunately, for WA.
Shot just misses wide.
Yep. And Shannon Mitchell will retain the ball for Western Australia. Riley McGee with a cut through the middle. They're working hard, the WA girls on attack, but New Zealand are doing great to slow them down. But Shannon Mitchell, what a shot, drive from the back. Just beat her defender off the crease there and was able to convert.
So the clock is out on the field now, so we'd be within about 30 seconds would be my guess.
Yep.
And
Just, what's happening here? Lots of changes. I thought we were going to call a timeout, maybe not. Tegan Brown back in the centre there for WA, taking on Aya. I hope I'm saying your name right, Aya. Aya Kais. Matched for height there. Aya might be a bit taller. Let's see who comes up with this one.
tell you what will be interesting is when the WA take on South Australia tomorrow and
Yeah.
Liv Parker in the middle there, Shandell. So
Yeah, she's got some height. She's an amazing athlete. Watching her last night, she's just phenomenal. Erin
time
Mitchell
for
with
one
the
more.
ball. Oh, Bailey Eastman's missed it, but she's retained possession. New Zealand crashing in there quickly. Over to Erin Mitchell.
And that'll be that.
And that's the time on today's game. So the final score from what I can see is 17-8, if that's correct, Lockie.
Yep, 17-8. That'll be that for Western Australia. So a 9-goal win, comfortable for them. WA players just get around their goalie, Liv Antilov. Great game from her. Plenty to be excited about, I guess, for New Zealand. Being able to hit the scoreboard 8 times is a fair effort. Plenty
Yep.
to work on defensively, obviously, but I think they'll take a fair bit away from that game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity for them to get some awesome game time in before World Cup and to challenge themselves against some of the Australian players and the under-23s. You know, you can't prepare better, and to have the games with the college team later this week as well. You know, and they can then watch the games back on ALN,
Yep.
so really critique their style before they get to World Cup. I haven't actually looked at their draw, but I expect big things. They finished really high on the ladder at the last World Cup, and they're just growing. They're incredibly athletic, so yeah, nothing. I mean, I'll be cheering for them when they're not playing Australia, that's for sure. Our mates across the ditch.
For sure. Well, I think we might leave it there for this one. WA coming away 17-8 winners over New Zealand in a quite entertaining contest there. Stay with us because we'll be back in a couple of hours' time for the next match. I'll just give you an update quickly. Sorry, Victoria, 21-0 winners against Queensland in the men's match across the field from us. We'll be back at 2:30, Queensland taking on South Australia in that one. For now, thanks for your time, Chandel.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me join the team.
No worries. And we'll see you in a couple of hours' time. Thanks for tuning in.